Many Americans struggle with financial literacy. They find it difficult to manage money and struggle to save, with studies indicating that only 57% of U.S. households have a rainy day fund that can cover 3 months of expenses. Credit card debt is also widespread, with average balances exceeding $5,700 per household. It's what Americans don't know about money that's keeping them broke. Welcome, I'm Mark, and if this is your first time here, on this channel we explore actionable strategies to help us become a little bit better each day. Now, today's topic is the money habits that are keeping Americans broke. The sad truth is, most Americans receive little to no financial education in school, and money remains a taboo topic in many quarters, which can further limit access to financial knowledge. This low financial literacy among Americans stems from several systemic, cultural, and educational factors, such as lack of financial education in schools, high levels of income inequality, the fear of seeking professional advice, predatory lending practices, and the overall complexity of our financial systems. According to a 2023 report, only 24 states require high school students to take a personal finance course. As a result, young people often enter adulthood without understanding things like budgeting or debt management or investing, forcing people to learn by trial and error, which, let's face it, can be very dangerous and very expensive. And on top of all of that, our consumer-driven culture emphasizes spending over saving, with heavy marketing and easy access to credit promoting immediate gratification over long-term financial planning. The U.S. financial system itself can be overwhelming with complicated products like adjustable rate mortgages, credit card terms, and investment options. Without guidance, people often avoid learning about these tools or make uninformed decisions. And for many people, just day-to-day survival takes precedence over long-term financial planning, and limited resources make it next to impossible to build up any savings. Many of us are just stumbling around in the dark when it comes to managing our finances, and as a result, we're making some painful mistakes. Here are the top 5 money habits keeping us broke, along with some actionable steps to help us address them. Social pressure, impulse spending, or lack of awareness about expenses can set you down a road of spending more money than you're bringing in. To fix it, you first need to differentiate between needs and wants. Needs are covered by your base income. Wants are something you have to defer or save for. Create a realistic budget and track every dollar. There are plenty of free budgeting apps available that can get you started down the road of properly managing your money. Then set spending limits and use cash for discretionary purchases rather than credit cards to avoid overspending. Thinking that savings can wait until later or not prioritizing it is the first biggest mistake you're making with your money. Rather than prioritizing spending, you really should prioritize saving. To get started, automate savings to ensure that it happens before you have a chance to spend. Have money taken directly out of your paycheck and put into 2 important things: a rainy day fund meant to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses, and a retirement account. Now, I don't care what age you're at, retirement is a priority because, believe it or not, one day you will be old. Start small. Saving even 10% of your income builds momentum. And if that's too much, start with $10 and form a savings habit. Then every time your pay increases, increase that savings as well. Then forget about the money. Don't worry over market ups and downs, especially if you're young. Markets fluctuate, but you have the advantage of time. Relying on credit cards for everyday expenses or large purchases is a recipe for disaster. Credit cards charge outrageous interest rates that over time can double or triple the cost of the items that you purchased with them. Use credit cards in emergencies only, or only if you can pay off the balance every month. If you've fallen into the trap of building up large amounts of credit card debt, focus on paying off high interest debt first, using the snowball or avalanche method. The snowball method is a strategy for paying off multiple debts by starting with the smallest balance and then working your way up. Make minimum payments on all other cards and pay as much as you can on that small balance until it's done, and then rinse and repeat until all your credit card debt is gone. Now, the avalanche method is a strategy for paying off the highest interest rate first, regardless of balance. While the process of paying down debt, avoid using credit cards any further and focus on cash. And if you can't afford something, don't buy it. Lack of awareness or avoiding uncomfortable truths about spending habits is another path to financial ruin. You have to keep track of your expenses. Use one of those free budgeting apps that I talked about, or a simple spreadsheet to log your monthly expenses. That's what I use. Review spending monthly to identify areas where you could cut back. Set clear financial goals to motivate mindful spending and saving. Focusing on short-term needs or assuming there's plenty of time to worry about that later will leave you unprepared for your eventual exit from the workforce. An exit, by the way, that may or may not be of your own doing or on your timeline. Start investing for your retirement immediately as soon as you land your first real job, even if it's a small amount, $5, $10, doesn't matter. Starting young gives you the advantage of time to leverage growth. Small, consistent deposits can have a large impact over time. And don't be afraid to seek advice from a financial advisor to help you build a roadmap for future goals. But make sure that that financial advisor is a fiduciary, which means they have to focus on strategies that benefit you and not sell costly products that benefit them. We can gain the tools and confidence needed to manage our finances more effectively. Things like expanding financial literacy programs in schools and workplaces can help bridge the knowledge gap. Encouraging open dialogue about money with families and communities can normalize the topic and promote learning. And advocacy for simpler and more transparent financial products would empower consumers to make better decisions. By adopting better habits, spending intentionally, saving regularly, and planning for the future, you can break the cycle of financial stress and move forward toward greater security and freedom. I'll include some further financial resources that I trust and use in the description. That's all for this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like or share it with someone that you think could benefit from seeing it.